How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys all having a fabulous day. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe, of course, if you guys haven't already. And I don't know why I'm doing my voice like this, but that sounds cool, don't it? Get you the chopper. Alright, we're going to be talking about the show. Here we go. Got my normal voice back. I don't know what happened right there. And of course, we're going to be talking about Battlestar Galactica. We're going to be talking mostly about season 1, but I want to include the TV miniseries part 1 and part 2 that actually kicked off all 4 seasons of this version of the show. So if you guys don't know, Battlestar Galactica actually started in the 80s, in the 1980s. So there is clearly a lot of inspiration and a lot of ideas pulled from things like Star Wars and Terminator. Ideas, themes, character models, plot lines, locations, they all kind of have a resemblance to like Star Wars and Terminator. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about the TV miniseries and season 1 all in this video, and then season 2, season 3, and the season 4 finale of this version of Battlestar Galactica will be getting their own videos once I've watched all those seasons and put some notes down and reviewed them. So I'll have videos separate for that. So first of all, this is the show that started off in 2003 and continued on for doing a 2-part miniseries to start off this show. And both part 1 and part 2 of the TV miniseries are about 90 minutes long. And then every single episode in this season and beyond so far has been about 45 minutes long. So do keep in mind that you also need to watch the TV miniseries part 1 and part 2 before you jump into the beginning of season 1. If you just jump into season 1 without watching part 1, part 2 of the miniseries, you're going to be confused as to what in the world is going on. Season 1 started off in 2005. They did the TV miniseries in 2003. And the reason they did the miniseries is to test the water, see if people still cared and were interested 20 plus years later in the Battlestar Galactica franchise. And clearly people were, and they gave the green light to do 4 seasons. And I'm really happy for it. This is a show that I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time. This is a show that I grew up watching from time to time. I really wasn't extremely invested in what was going on, but the whole concept of, these 12 planets, these 12 colonies, getting basically almost annihilated by these Terminators that the human race created called Cylons, and them having to leave, or the human race gets annihilated and trying to find Colony 13, aka Earth. The whole concept of the show intrigued me enough to watch it from time to time, but I was never a die-hard fan. So I'm actually rewatching the whole show from start to finish while doing this review for you guys. Certain episodes I've seen and I remember, certain episodes I've never seen, and certain plot lines I've just never seen, and it's exciting. It's really exciting to see this show from start to finish. And I highly encourage you guys, if you guys are into like Terminator, Star Wars, anything science fiction wise, I think you'll enjoy this. This is one of the best science fiction dramas ever made, if not the best, in my personal opinion. And it just shows you a bunch of ragtag humans led by Commander Adama and President Roslin as sole survivors of a nuclear war that was launched against them by their own creation, the Cylons. And together, this entire large group of human survivors is forced to flee home, seek the protection on board an outdated warship called the Galactica, along with a bunch of other ships in this remaining fleet. And together, their mission is to locate Colony 13 called Earth. So let's jump into the positives, and we'll talk about the negatives at the end, and I'll give you guys my final review score. So first of all, the main conflict is established in the first 5 minutes, and I'm really happy about that. The design of the Cylons is simple and cool, and the Cylons are constantly a truly terrifying threat throughout every single episode. Let me stress that. There's only one villain really in this show that stays nearly true to being villain, and that is the Cylons. And I'm happy about that. The opening credits, the soundtrack for that, is phenomenal. It just adds this eerie tension and it adds to the fear as to is the human race, what remains of it, is it going to be wiped out or not? Will they succeed to getting to Earth, or will the Cylons and their master plan come together and will they annihilate the human race? The design of the Galactica battle warship, whatever you want to call it, is fabulous and it's explored in great detail. You watch the miniseries in season one and you basically have a mental picture as to where things are in the ship, and they do a great job of helping you navigate as the audience figure out where certain things are inside and from the outside's view of the ship. All the characters are lovable, they're multi-layered, and every single character has emotion, whether you want to love that character or hate them or despise them or feel sadness for what's happened to them in their past or what's about to happen to them. Every single character, whether it be a main character, a B character, a side character, a one-off episode character, every single character, every single person has a purpose and they fulfill it well. Also, because this is a drama, I want to address the fact that the dialogue is spectacular. Also, the sound design for the space combat is 11 out of 10. Well done. The human war combat ships are also really cool in design and clearly inspired by Star Wars X-Wings, but in the show they're called Vipers. Several famous actors actually do appear. Some of them just make like little cameos or one-off appearances, and then there's some that actually have stuck around for the whole season. Like the person that voice acts for Darth Maul in the Clone Wars show, I believe his name is Sam Witwer, and I just loved his presence. It was really cool to see him in something besides Clone Wars. So yeah. How the Cylons are able to nearly wipe out humankind is because basically they ended up fooling this one human who fell in love with a Cylon that is disguised as a human, and because of that, the human Gaiaz gives the Cylon access to the human's defense network, and the Cylon agent is able basically to shut it off and allow the nukes to just bomb the hell out of these 12 colony planets that all of humanity is on. Also, the show has a great emphasis on the bonds of family and friends and lovers. My favorite character so far in this entire show would be Gaiaz. He's the doctor that allowed, sadly, the human race to basically nearly be annihilated because of love. And the doctor also has to battle this Cylon ship that was put in his head. So, personally, he's my favorite character. Also, later on in the season, he is offered the chance to become vice president by President Roslin, and he ends up winning, which I really didn't expect him to. So, it's cool to watch his story arc in this season for sure. Go from normal citizen to becoming a major doctor and nerd, to kind of going crazy, to leading to almost annihilating the entire human race to becoming vice president. It's really cool. The fact that anyone can be a human Cylon infiltrator agent in this show is really cool, and it leads to a lot of great moments throughout the show. The Hand of God episode was fabulous. Had some of the best space combat action for sure, even though it is kind of similar to the destruction of the Death Star in Star Wars Episode 4. The season finale was filled with a lot of unexpected moments. There were several shocking and awe moments, and it had the best action so far in the series. And let's just say for a fact, the last major event that happens in season 1's finale, where Commander Adama is shot. We don't know if he's dead or alive. They don't tell you that in season 1's finale. But I'm really excited to see, is he dead or is he alive? I'm really excited. Just because of that big cliffhanger from season 1. For negatives, I do have a couple I do need to address. First of all, this is a really short season. There's only 13 episodes. Technically, there's only 12 because 12 and 13 are split into 2 parts for a season finale. Um, Honestly, I really don't like the fact that you're having to watch the 2-part miniseries to understand season 1 events, locations, the plots, the characters. You would think that this is a TV show, but like I just said, you kind of have to watch the 2-part miniseries episode before you jump into season 1. So to me, that's kind of a negative that you can't just start a show from the beginning. You have to actually like watch the beta version of the show before you can actually watch the show. It's kind of silly. Um, let's just also just be clear on one fact: Cylons are a direct ripoff of Terminators. They've got red eyes. They're metal. They can change their hands. They're almost like the Cylons are almost like Terminators from Transformers put together. And the Cylons have the ability to evolve, and they can look like humans too. And I'm just like, yeah, I feel like I'm watching a Terminator show. Okay, it's really annoying. There is some PG-13 sex scenes. Some of the twists and turns and revelations are told to the audience way too far ahead of when the actual big twist or revelation is supposed to happen in the show, which leads to some shocking moments that are in the show, like feeling like less impactful because of that. Also, I don't understand how the Cylons are able to get the nuclear bombs past the human defense system. Like, yes, Gaius falls in love and the Cylon shuts down the defense network, but we never get to actually see her do it. It's never shown. She just says that she did it, and then the bombs drop. And it's like, I would have liked to see a little more of like how she went about doing so. I understand this is a drama, but this is a science fiction drama, and that to me was a crucial moment that kind of needed to be explained a little more. Not just saying, by the way, thanks for giving me the security code so I could bomb the human race. See ya! I'm like, okay, that happened. Some character names are extremely forgettable, forcing you to remember basically faces and, you know, their role on the ship. Some major battles are just told. Like, literally, the show just tells you, this battle's happened, instead of actually showing you the battle occur on screen. That's the problem with this entire season. This show is way too drama. Way too drama at times. It's just like, it tells you information, it expects you to just be happy that it told you these things happened, instead of actually showing them on screen. Which, another problem is, this season's only 13 episodes. If you actually showed what was going on, instead of just telling the audience, you might have actually had another 7 or 8 episodes. Why is jumping, or hyperspace jumping, take so long to launch? Like in Star Wars, it's just instantaneous almost. Opening credits can spoil episode plot moments, especially on Caprica. The events and plot basically of Caprica being controlled by the Cylons. Caprica is the major planet that humans inhabited in this show. A lot of events and plots that take place on the controlled Caprica planet by the Cylons honestly is really boring compared to the rest of the show. I'm hoping that if they continue going on with events and plots of Cylon controlled Caprica in future seasons, that it's much better. But I'm not hopeful in that regard. Also wanted to say, don't ever watch episode 5 on a weak stomach, because it ends up exploring the inside of a Cylon ship, and it's kind of gross. Episode 6, Litmus, was honestly really a drag. It was the definition of a opera drama episode. Also, I don't understand how and why Cylons believe in God. They worship God, and they're robots, not mortal humans. So why do they believe they have a soul and believe in God? And it's really confusing. They don't explain that at all. Also, the humans have to use this resource called Tilium, and it's basically this extremely super rare element that humans use for fueling their ships. Why are you using a super rare element called Tilium to power your ships? Like, you can't run on diesel? I'm just like, why are you running your ships and powering your ships on a very hard to come by? Why are you running it on a commodity? You'd think you would run it on something that you have an abundance of. It just screams stupid to me, honestly, guys. Honestly, guys, I'm having a blast watching Battlestar Galactica, but there are some things that, unfortunately, they stick out to me. I mean, that's my job, and then there's some things I kind of like to nitpick, and I just have to tell it as it is, guys. This isn't a bad show by no means. Let me stress that. I know I feel like I've gone on a rant and a ramble, the negative part of this video. This show isn't bad. There's just some things that stick out like a sore thumb to me, plot wise and character wise and motivational wise, that kind of just it when you think about it, you're like, this makes no sense at times. So honestly, watch this show, but realize there are going to be some things that are said and done that makes no logical sense, or things that are never said and done that makes no logical sense. By the way, we just lost 3 battleships. And you couldn't show that battle on screen? Why? What? Wasn't in the budget? Oh, alright guys. I'm going to end this video. I know it's been dragging on for long. I appreciate all of you guys for watching. This has been my review of the TV the TV miniseries Part 1, Part 2, and Season 1 of Battlestar Galactica. With that, guys, I'm giving all of this combined an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to my reviews of Season 2, 3, and 4 coming out very soon. You guys all have a fabulous one. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye, guys.